Lions TV backed for the rest of the season by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited. Big Millwall fans, just like every other one of our sponsors on the backboard behind me. If you're going to do a bit of business, then please, let's keep it in the Millwall family and check out their website links in the description below. This is your post-match analysis video for yesterday's 0-0 draw against Rotherham at the Den. Horrendous, truly horrendous. I can't think of anything else to describe it. I've seen and played with better players on a Sunday, a better standard than I saw yesterday. Rotherham came looking for a point. They absolutely didn't want to know. In the game, really, they could have done with winning. We just couldn't get going. The cup hangover echoed around the Den from the pitch to the fans. It was not a pretty day, and I think I got a little bit of frostbite in the process. Let's start out by taking a look at the 11 that Neil Harris picked to start the match. Now, hindsight is a wonderful, wonderful thing, and looking back on yesterday, you know, one of the oldest sayings in football is never change a winning side. We was outstanding against Everton. We was horrendous yesterday, as I've already said. So should Neil Harris have changed it? Listen, I personally said he should have changed it to the team he did change it to. But lucky for us, I'm not the manager of Millwall Football Club. It was Jordan Archer in goal, Marlon Romeo at right back, Murray Wallace, who I thought was impressive again at left back, Jake Cooper with Sean Hutchinson alongside him. It was a midfield three of the Wand Williams, Ben Thompson and Vanilla Leonard, with Jeb Wallace wide right, Ben Marshall wide left, and up front, Lee Gregory. As I've said, that's the 11 I would have picked barring the goalkeeper. And for people pointing the finger at the manager again yesterday, I don't know, I'm not so sure. There's a lot of things going on at the club at the minute that are a bit strange at times, and you know, Neil Harris would have prepared his players, would have spoken to his players. He hasn't got to motivate them and say too much, surely, after the performance that they put in against Everton. The club should have been buzzing, the club should have been on cloud nine. But for the players to not come out, I mean, look, the first 2 minutes we came out, Ben Marshall hit the bar. We thought it's going to be, you know, it's going to be another good day at the Den, and it just, I don't even know if the players played bad. They just didn't get going, and nothing was happening. We couldn't create any chances. Rotherham came to disrupt and upset and achieved, and they're a terrible football side, by the way. But yesterday they had the better of it. You know, they probably could have won. The second half we didn't get out of our half. The first half we had a shot from Ben Marshall after 2 minutes. There's the crossbar. Other than that, notable chances I can remember. A short corner that gets flicked out to the edge of the box, and Ryan Leonard, or Vanilla Leonard as I called him, I'll get onto that shortly as well, it's one from distance over the bar. Other than that, Marlon Romeo hits the only shot on target, a long distance straight into the keeper's arms, which I'm not blaming you for. I thought Marlon played quite well yesterday because we didn't have to do too much defending coming forward. He's exciting, as we know. But we're going at half time, and honestly, it was just I don't know how the feeling can keep going from there around the club to go into there. We come out the second half, and Harris, for me, makes a mistake. He has a little bit of a panic up, as he did earlier in the season when he took off Tom Bradshaw at QPR after 45 minutes because he didn't think that the Gregory-Bradshaw combo was working. He switches it back to 4-4-2. He puts on Steve Morrison, who just looks a little bit out of his depth, if I'm honest now. He just looks like he's just out of his depth. I ain't going to say any more than that because the man's a club legend and I've got a lot of time for him. But we went back to 4-4-2 and nothing changed. They just peppered us. You know, as I've said, Vanilla Leonard in midfield, Ryan Leonard just doesn't do enough for me. And the problem you've got with Ryan Leonard is, I was thinking about this morning again, he's not a Callum Butcher, he's not a Greg Wild. He is a player that Neil Harris has tracked for a very long time. He's a player that Neil Harris rates highly. He's a player that's our all-time record sign at the club. The jinx of that seems to be living with him. And I don't think you're going to see him go out the side anytime soon, but I just don't think he does anything. He shows flashes of brilliance and he's very confident. He must be by the things that he tries coming forward, but he's not very good. He's very slow. And, you know, but as I've said, he's a player that Harris has tracked for a long, long time. He's our all-time record signing, so Harris is going to have to bite the bullet and stick with him, so to speak. But, you know, I didn't do interviews yesterday because what can I stand and talk about with 5 people, interviews over and over again? There's only so much you can say about it yesterday. It was shit. It was absolutely shit, and our Jekyll and Hyde season continues. It's tough to take. I don't know. As I said, I don't know if I blame the manager because the players perform. Look at them at Everton. Unbelievable. Superb. So how can they come up and just not turn up Who played well yesterday? Jeb was terrible. Nothing he tried came off. The goalkeeper, I don't want to keep digging him out, but Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I watching here, honestly? I feel like I'm in the Truman Show and you're all part of it. That's how I feel. I honestly feel that way. He's coming for crosses and getting fucking absolutely nowhere near them. He's catching crosses and dropping them. The new thing he's got, this new thing that he's developed over the last couple of games, he's taking so long and dwelling on the ball that he's trying to hit clearances. They're ricocheting off the centre forward's head from the other team. It's laughable. I've never seen anything like it, and how people can't see it is beyond me. He's got hurt yesterday because he's out of his depth and he's come for a ball that he shouldn't have come from. Then he's recovered it in the melee and getting stamped on. But again, the people blaming the ref yesterday. Get over yourself. Stop blaming the ref. It's embarrassing. We was fucking horrendous, and you cannot blame the ref for that. I'm not interested. Not interested in people who want to go on about referees. It's embarrassing. Stop embarrassing yourself and going on about it. It doesn't reflect, you know, how bad we was. Don't worry about the ref. If we'd have played anywhere near like we had done against Everton, we would have killed the game off. Who played well yesterday? Murray Wallace. I thought Murray Wallace done all right. And I was trying to think around the pitch. Usually I can always say that Lee Gregory played well. What is he doing at the end? You know, I've backed him. I said we don't need another forward. I'll always back Gregors, maybe sometimes too much. Maybe I'll give him a little bit more favour than I should. But he's superb. He was unbelievable against Everton. We pursue it, and you've got to give us credit for that, at least, that we still kept going right towards the end. Jeb puts it on a plate for him. Their defender slides in, which he has to try and do because, you know, he's out of position, the game's gone beyond him, and he's trying to make a recovery tackle. Lee Gregory should be scoring a goal, and 99 times out of 100, I'm sure he would. But Lee Gregory, you know, the defender does his job, he distracts him. Gregors slides when he doesn't need to. All he's got to do is stand on his feet and tap it in. But the defender's sliding, I don't know whether that panics Gregors into thinking, fuck me, he's closer to me than he should be. But he slides, and he slides off balance and kicks it wide. Horrendous. Listen, let's just put that one down to a learning experience, a bad day in the life of Millwall Football Club, and it just, you know, it could only happen to this club. I called it in the pre-match. We've gone from there. Well, fuck me, I can't get her. Right, we've gone from there. One of the best days ever at the Den. I'll keep saying it. To that pile of shit yesterday. And I don't really know what to say about it. I didn't really want to do a post-match analysis, but there you go. I've done it. On the flip side of that, it's another point on the board. We are still 4 points clear of Rotherham with a game in hand on them. So if we can win that game in hand, you know, I still think we'll be safe this year. But it's, you know, at times it's horrific to watch. I've got to be honest, and you know, I don't want to say that, but it is what it is. That's the truth of the matter. We go on now away to Swansea. We've got a few hard away games coming up. Swansea, Derby and Hull. You know, it's not going to be easy. It's not been pretty this year. It's not been, you know, it's the first year in probably 3 it hasn't been pretty. So we've got to grin and bear it and just crack on. And next week we go to South Wales. I'll be there. I don't know what to expect. But, you know, this is supporting a football club at times. It's not always good. It's not always pretty. But we will survive this season. I'm wondering how, if I'm honest, at times. I just think that you've got teams below us, Bolton, Ipswich and Reading, that are so bad that, you know, they're beyond bad. So we will survive. But in the summer, we need a major rethink. We need to improve, because if we don't improve in the summer, we will go down next year. I'm pretty sure of it. So there you go. Keep smiling. Enjoy your Sunday. And if you can avoid it, don't watch this video. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.